Last month, we saw a record number of home sales for the month of July. How is this possible during a pandemic? Details coming right up.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Welcome back to Real Estate on the Lam, bringing you the latest market information, some predictions, and a few other nuggets along the way. Hi, I'm Lambros Demos from Royal LePage, and home buyers in the GTA are once again defying logic and showing their resiliency by setting a record number of sales for the month of July. That's right, July 2020 was the highest selling July on record. And not because home prices are falling, quite the opposite actually. They're higher than they've ever been. Let's take a look at the numbers. This chart behind me compares the number of available homes, i.e. supply, to the number of sales, in other words demand, for the month of July, going back to 2011. This year we saw the second lowest supply for July in 10 years. Only 2016 was lower, and you may remember how hot the market was at that time.
Hey! I can't leave!
In early 2017 came the foreign buyers tax, among other things, and you can see how supply suddenly jumped up because many people decided to put their homes on the market at the same time, fearing prices would come down. Buyers felt the same way, and thus demand cooled off. Since then, supply has been decreasing every year and demand has been increasing. And when supply goes down and demand goes up, well, you guessed it, prices will also go up. And look where we were last month, over 11,000 sales, a record for July, and almost 11% higher than the crazy market of 2016. If the lines of supply and demand continue to move toward each other, then look out. Prices will skyrocket once again, so do not expect any great deals or bargains anytime soon. There is simply no empirical evidence to support that theory. However, if something happens to change the direction of these lines, then we may see a cooling off of price appreciation. Let's now look at sales month over month. In this chart, going back to January 2019, you can see a consistent pattern of sales mimicking supply. And look what happened at the end of 2019. Supply nosedived, which created a higher than usual demand in the fourth quarter and caused home prices to spike in early 2020. The drop in sales you see in April 2020 was due to COVID-19, but look at how quickly the market recovered. We went from 2/3 fewer sales year over year in April to about half the sales year over year in May to almost even in June, now almost 30% higher than last July and the highest month of sales this year. Part of this increased demand may be buyers catching up from the lost spring market, but I think it's more than that. Supply is low once again, the second lowest as I mentioned in 10 years. Only 2016 was lower. Also, mortgage interest rates are still near all-time lows. And speaking of interest rates, the Bank of Canada just reduced their qualifying rate, or stress test, for borrowers, making it a little easier to qualify for a mortgage. But the biggest reason I believe that we have such a hot market is that people understand that real estate is a great long-term investment, at least here in the GTA. So they are getting in now because they realize that prices will likely continue to climb. They want to get in now before they are priced out of the market. I mentioned prices going up, so let's talk a little bit more about that. This chart shows us how far we have climbed in the last year and a half. At that time, we thought prices were high, right? And couldn't get any higher? Well, look what happened since then. Prices went up almost 21% since January 2019. And last year, we had a strong spring market, and then a bit of a respite, and the next spike happened in early 2020. Right before the COVID pandemic. And the dip you see there is due to COVID, but as mentioned in previous videos, that was more of a speed bump than anything else. Not even a pandemic was a match for real estate demand here in the GTA, as prices now continue to rise. In the last 12 months, year-to-date home prices are up almost 12%, despite the pandemic and its nightmare effect on our economy. How much higher will prices go? Well, that's anybody's guess. We always think they can't go higher, and yet they do. There's no telling where it will end. Even if we have a second wave of the pandemic and another stalling of the market, it will eventually recover, as it always does. And if prices do fall, it probably won't be a dramatic drop. So don't expect a fire sale. Over the long term, prices will always go up. I hope you found this information helpful. Please like and share with others, and remember, these are average numbers across all areas and all property types. Local areas may have different numbers and trends. So to find out what's happening in your neighborhood and how much your property is currently worth, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd love to show you the local stats. You may call, text, email, or even post a comment in the section below. I'm always here to answer your questions and keep you informed. Last but not least, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button or follow me on Facebook and Instagram to get all the latest videos and market info. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Have a great day and stay safe.